all the juices get flowing. Another beautiful day to go riding, except it has literally rained 10 days straight here. It has never skipped a day without rain. My gosh. Every single day. Today I'm actually doing a pretty special video. Today I'm finally giving my bike a review. I know I did a whoa, that one felt weird. I did a sport bikes versus cruiser video not too long ago. Well, it was a while ago. And so that's the only other thing that I've done like this. But this, I'm giving my bike a 6,000 mile review. Actually 9,227 kilometers, which actually equates to about 5,700 miles. I've had this bike since almost brand new. Yeah, and I haven't even put on 6,000 miles in like 2.5 years-ish. I think I got it 2 years ago in February is when I bought it. And it was completely stock when I bought it. And I've done, you know, all the mods to it, even though there's not very many. But I've put on, you know, a good amount of miles, a few thousand miles every year. And I just finally wanted to do a review of the Iron 883. Now, I have thoroughly enjoyed this bike. Coming from a sport bike, I used to have an FZ6R. And yes, that was basically the detuned version of the R6. A lot slower, but I mean, you can get those for cheap and they're pretty cool. I just love the looks and sounds of the bobber bike. I don't necessarily like cruisers all that much. I like the bobber build, and man, that does not look good. I like the bobber builds where you have the, you know, the back tire, the small fender, the seat right there, and then kind of going up to the top right here to the speedometer. You know, it's kind of like a triangle. But that's the kind of look that I like. It's almost like a rat rod kind of bike. And then the Iron 883, it appealed to me because, you know, you got the black colors starting off. I was actually going to get an Iron 883 or the Yamaha Bolt. They're very similar to how they, you know, how they look. I actually rode on a Bolt before I bought this one, and I just like the smaller wheelbase of the Iron 883 and just how it looks more compact. Yamaha Bolt, I think that's a great bike. I just love the looks of this. Oh man, I don't think I want to ride that too far that way. I just freaking checked the weather and all that good stuff. But it only has, this is our 15% here. 50% chance of rain, it'll start pouring. But Iron 883 had that blacked out look. I just wanted it, you know, a bike I can go purchase from the start. It looks good. I can do all these upgrades too. You know, it's reliable. I know Japanese bikes are, you know, on average are more reliable than American made bikes, but I still decided to go with this Harley. And yes, I have absolutely loved this bike ever since I bought it. Now the power is a little bit low. You get used to the power. I'm sure this is the case with every bike out there, but I've gotten used to the power pretty quickly. I know a lot of people do engine swaps on those things. I probably would recommend one of those because you start off with like 45 horsepower on a 550 pound bike. I mean, that's great for starters, don't get me wrong, and I think that's great. But once you get used to it and all that stuff, even doing mods, intake, tune, exhaust, you only get a few horsepower from all those. Oh, this looks so menacing! I always get poured on when I ride. That's why my bike is so dirty. I wanted to get a cool cinematic of the bike, which I will. I just don't think it'll be in the spot that I want. I'm riding really slow because I don't want to ride that way. Yeah, so power is a little bit on the low side in my opinion. So that's one thing. Now, I do take turns I'd say, you know, a little bit quick for a cruiser bike, so I end up getting pretty low. So these pegs that come on them, they'll, you know, you're gonna scrape them down quite a bit. Now that's not really a complaint, because you know right off the bat you're buying a bike that it already sits really low to the ground. So I can't really put that under a complaint, because you're buying a bike that sits low to the ground. It's not made to, you know, to go around turns and stuff like sport bikes do. So some of the pros, let's go with some of the pros. The looks, I love this bike. I love how it looks. It looks very menacing. I get a lot of looks from other people on it. Ooh, what you doing? I love the looks of this bike. I'm really distracted because I'm about to get freaking poured on. Why? I hope this cloud goes away, because we could actually get a good riding, because it's only right here. But I'm no weatherman. I'm a weather woman. So I'll do kind of like a, you know, some of the pros, some of the cons, not in any particular order. So I said power was a little bit of a con. Pro is the looks. Reliability so far has been perfect. Nothing has went bad. Nothing's been going wrong. You know, I change the oil every time it needs it. I do all that stuff. So I can't really say much on reliability, except it's been good so far for 6,000 miles. So that's good. Thumbs up. We actually might be lucky. Okay, I'm gonna do another plus for this bike is ease of modding. Yeah, I am turning around. It's raining over there. Ease of modding. Yes, that is definitely a positive. There are so many mods out there. Exhaust, all the intake, tuning, you know, all the normal stuff that's super easy to do. Anything else, you know, bobber kind of mods. You know, there's quite a few parts for this bike that are easy to slip on, make it look more and more like a bobber. Ease of modification. See, look, they're all wet. And I'm not yet. And I don't want to be. That's a positive. Okay, fuel tank capacity. I was actually looking at a 48 as well. The Sportster 48. It has a 2.1 gallon tank, tiny. This one's 3.3. Gets a little bit better miles per gallon. I get like 50, I believe. And the 48, you got to fill up like every 80 miles. That's how bad it is. If you don't want to worry about running out of gas. So fuel tank capacity. If people actually rate that, I'm throwing this on there. I think that's a positive. So I'm going to keep that as a positive. So I went over all the major stuff. I'm trying to think of anything else that I may have missed. Overall, this bike is great. I've loved it. I've grown to be attached to it. Like I said in my last video, I was thinking about selling it for a supermoto, which I'm going to get anyway, but just not yet. I just like the looks of cruisers, you know, personally, the cruiser bobber look more than any other bike. My dream bike is a Bonneville bobber, which those are like twice as expensive as these things. But I mean, this bike has been great to me. Taking on long road trips, made it to the Tail of a Dragon and back. I didn't drive it there, I made it on it. I think it's actually a good, very good beginner bike. Advanced, that's like where it becomes a little bit iffy. I mean, for me, I still like taking turns fast. I know I can with this bike. I know the limits on it. I can't take it fast, you know, faster than any dual sport or cruisers, just because the foot pegs drag so much. Overall, it's a very easy bike to get used to. Very easy to drive, handle, maneuver. It's a little bit on the heavy side. As I said, it weighs in at about 550 pounds. But still very easy to use. It's just the power where it comes, you know, becomes a little bit iffy. So if you're a new rider just starting off, I do think this bike would be good for you. If you're more of an advanced rider, I like to think I am. But I like to think I am. And I'm getting used to the power. You know, it starts becoming a little bit on the slow side. Just because it comes with like 45 horsepower stock, which is nothing. So, you know, if you have a scale between beginner and like pro, it's somewhere, here's like the middle, it's somewhere in the middle area, middle to beginner. I still keep it just because I've grown attached to it. I've got good plans I want to do to it, and eventually I might even do the engine upgrade. You know, swap it out to a 1200 or 1250. And that'll put me up there, you know, more towards the advanced side. I'd say that's kind of the way I'd like to describe it as. You know, if you're looking to get one of these bikes and you're closer to the beginner start, or you know, you've ridden for a year or two, I still think this would be a good bike. It's still fun for me, you know, knowing I've been riding for years and years. I still have tons of fun on this bike. But you know, you always want to upgrade, you always want to go faster eventually. So that's kind of where, you know, I stand with it. But putting, you know, 5,000 miles on it since I've gotten it, I've loved it. It's just nice to, it just would be nice to get, you know, something different. Thank you for watching. I hope my audio is better. You know, I was messing with that. I went back to my original GoPro instead of the little Session. So I got a new mount. It's now mounted on the front. I didn't like the side. I like my original setup, but it's now on the new helmet. So I went back and got the same mic. I did the same kind of sound and everything. So I think it sounded good at the end of, you know, where I stopped motovlogging for a while. But I went back to it. I just like it the best. Sounds good. What I was using was a Senna to record my audio through my phone. So I had to have, you know, my GoPro video and my audio all synced up, you know, kind of because they came through separately, you know, separate files. So I had to work on that a little bit. I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Overall, really great bike. I have loved it. Still do love it. Probably keep it for another few years. Maybe even longer, depends on what I want to do with it. But I appreciate you guys watching, you know, leaving those likes and whatever. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.